Today is a very special video topic, and I'm going to borrow a terminology from Coach Greg Adams, although he himself didn't quite come up with the terminology itself, but in the red pill manosphere space, he is widely known for his takes on the Bluechip mindset. You are watching the Showcast. Welcome back to the MrShowTym Showcast. The Bluechip mindset, ladies and gentlemen. I just would love to expand on how you can take advantage or familiarize yourself with the Bluechip mindset. Because some people, as Coach CGA would say, most people are deaf, dumb, and blind. I mean, there's different categories, different tiers of people, okay? The lowest tier, I have to be honest, would be the 85%. Most people who are NPCs, right? They take the exact routes to work, okay? They do the exact same thing. They all believe pretty much the exact same thing. Oh, go get the hokey pokey, the zeitgeist control machine on the TV said, oh, there's a thingy, something like a sickness going out on the ethers, and we should wear slave muzzles and get the hokey pokey. And they follow suit. They line themselves up like a bunch of ants, like a bunch of peasants. NPCs, programmable bots for the system, for the matrix. Okay, they hardly ever, if ever, challenge their own beliefs. They are very comfortable being heavily plugged into the being jacked into the matrix and they take their blue pills every day. Your NPCs. They repeat whatever it is that is said on the MSM zeitgeist control machine. And that makes up like around about 85 to 90% of people. Let's just say 85. Now you have your 5%. Your 5%ers. That is your red pillars. Me, the red pill community, the manosphere. The 5% of people who actually, they take the red pill and they start to be able to read matrix code. Notice on my thumbnails, my glasses, they have matrix code raining down on them. See, here's another thing. I'm very artistic when it comes to my thumbnails. That's me being able to read matrix code. I'm trying to illustrate how I'm able to read matrix code in an artistic fashion. Because I'm red pilled. Okay? We are the ones who, we dare to challenge, the elites. And as such, we have our lives jeopardized and ruined, right? But, as the saying goes, high risk, high reward, eh? Anyway. And then you get the remaining 10%. And that is the elite. As CJ would say it. It's a club. You're either in or you're not. Okay? You're either in or you're not. That's the oligarchy, our establishment leaders, presidents, big tech giants, Mark Zuckerzoid. I call him Zuckerzoid because, some people say Mark Zuckerberg looks like a lizard, fine. But to me, he more so looks like an android. All that's missing with Mark Zuckerberg is, how androids have like, they have like this human-like skin, and then they have like these two lines dissecting downwards, like up, like like robots, right? All that's left. But that's just me. Okay. Most people say, "Oh, Mark Zuckerberg looks like a lizard. He's a lizard man." Okay, fine, with these pasty skin, whatever. I say, to me, my takes on him is my opinion on him is he looks like an android. He's a big tech giant, and he's very monotone, and yeah. So you get your big tech giants, okay? Your Elon Musks, your socially awkward, visibly autistic tech nerds and geeks who, while they were in school, they were bullied and called nerds and whatnot, and yeah, now that they're grown, all the jocks, all the cool kids are now using apps that they created, which is why now some people call this era the revenge of the nerds. Yeah. Okay, these people are not working for other people. No, you jocks, you are now working for them. A lot of these jocks, a lot of these cool kids, these high school jocks, yeah, in the future now they end up working for the geeks, because now they own the clubs, the football clubs, the rugby clubs, the sports clubs. They buy up all the real estate. They create social media apps, coding. Revenge of the nerds. Elon Musk's. Your not even your multi-million. Well, multimillionaires is the entry level. That's entry level. Okay, your athletes and your celebrities. Yeah, that's entry level. Okay. Oh no, we're talking about real oligarchs, people that the agent Smiths, the people, the sentinels, the people that pull the strings behind closed curtains. Okay, so you have your Elon Musk's and your basically everyone, Hollywood. Let's just say Hollywood. Okay, and government officials, not just any. I mean, your really high ranking government officials, Congress. I mean, I wanted to say congressmen and women, but not really. I mean, they're just there to just lobby. Okay, those are your lobbyist groups. Senators, senators, and presidents. Typically presidents. Okay, so yeah, you get it. Revenge of the nerds. So now I'm here to expand on the Bluechip mindset and how you can take advantage, or at the very least learn on how to move about in this world with a Bluechip mindset. Shout out to CGA. The Bluechip mindset, as I've explained, most people, the 85 to 90%, they're dumb blind. NPCs, bots. Okay, totally comfortable with the system, and that's your peasants class, your slave class. Okay, they work in everyday jobs, 9 to 5. You know, if I were to mention specific job titles, some of y'all may get offended, but hey, it's not my opinion. It is what it is. Okay. And then you get your mid-tier influencers. Those will be your Hollywood celebrities, your red pill, red pill guys. Even though, I mean, Hollywood and us red pill, we're in the same tier. We're on two opposite wavelengths, but we're in the same class. Okay, and then you get your oligarchs. So you get that. Understand how you have to, like, there are things you could do that I'm about to advise you on how you can move up the social ladder without selling your soul. Even though in most cases the typical easy way would be to kiss the nanny goat. And my advice to you is don't do that. Okay? You'll regret it for the rest of your life. Look at Pink. Look at Jennifer Lopez. Look at Diddy. Look at a lot of these celebrities that came out in endorsement of Kakamala with the previous elections. Don't be a slave to anything or anyone. Most people, they mind you, I'm trying to be as nice as possible here. Just please bear with me here. I don't want to say things that may come across as crass. I used to look at homeschooling as weird. Not anymore. This is coming from a person who went to the best schools in his town. You know, here in South Africa, we call it Model C schools. And even now, still, looking back in hindsight, back in the early 2000s, yeah. Today, it depends, I guess, but there are tiers, okay? Do you think the son of Donald Trump, Barron Trump, goes to school with regular normies? No. For a few reasons. First and foremost, for prestige. He's the president's son. And closely tied to that is for safety reasons. I mean, yeah, you can't be amongst the common folk if you're going to be the son of the president. There's a security factor there. And above all else, legacy. Do you think the children, the daughters of Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, and a lot of the other oligarchy members of the oligarchy, Elon Musk, do you think their children, or hey, not even their children going to the same school, do you think they live in the same neighborhoods as most people? No. And there's a reason for that. Because they are people of consequence. Okay, you're rich, you cannot afford to live amongst the Stone Cold Steve Austin trailer park trash. You own a couple of multi-millionaire organizations like SpaceX, Tesla, Twitter. Now you can't have, a Karen knock on your door and say, "Hey, Mr. Elon Musk, I don't like what you said about, I don't like at the time where you were sig-heiling at Trump's inauguration." No. These people live separately, okay? With the security detail and in a gated community. See, this is one of the things I aspire. I'm looking to move to a gated community because the more my child grows, yeah, I cannot afford to be amongst the common folk because there's some people that support my message and there's some people, guess what? As much as there's some people that support me, there's some people who don't. And I do not have, look at what happened with Nick Fuentes. Look what happened with Donald Trump, with his two assassination attempts. There are crazy nut jobs everywhere, emotional people everywhere. So you're going to have to separate yourself. And sadly, here in South Africa, in America, you get something called Ivy League universities, these exclusive, plish-plush, prim and proper universities where only the creme de la creme get to go. It's not necessarily for average normies. Well, the requirements are so high. It's open for regular normies if they prove themselves to qualify. That's where a lot of your Joy Reids come from. Okay, I'm pretty sure Joy Reid comes from a normal family, but she was able to, work hard, and this is not a promotion on Joy Reid. I mean, we're against these people. Your Caitlin Collins, your freaking Brian Stelters, they're just god awful people. But I'm just telling you how it is possible for you to work hard and qualify in high school and uh, earn your way into Harvard University, Yale, Princeton, I guess. I think, yeah. What's this other university? I forget its name. It starts with an S. Anyway, you get the idea. Any know me? I mean, these universities are very strict with even with which type of high school you come from. So they can sell it to whoever they want. But once you get there, understand you have entered a whole new echelon of living. You made it. You made it. Now you get to work at these uh, high end establishments like CNN, right? If you qualify to go to Harvard University and you graduate, and not just graduate like mediocre, no, you really graduate like top 10 in your class. Now you have a shot to live in Malibu or Martha's Vineyard or the Hollywood Hills, Beverly Hills. That's where a lot of these influencers live. Now you get to live exclusively. You get to be rich. So you graduate in journalism. You get to work at. You have a shot to earn your shot at over at CNN. Who would want to? Who would want? I mean, based on what CNN has become, who would want to? Who would want that? Fake news industry. But aside from these industries being assimilated by the ops, the Agent Smiths, I'm just talking about purely discussing the prestige. Okay, stay with me. I'm still red pilled. Okay, we're still against these guys, and yeah, you get to work at MSNBC, Fox News. So, but then again, it does come at a price. That is kissing the nanny goat. So Donald Trump's son and Elon Musk's son, children. Let me not just say sons. Let me be gender inclusive because they do have sons and daughters. It's not just sons. Their children legacy. Okay, they get to be part of the club. They get to. I mean, do you see Barron rubbing shoulders with Supreme Court justices? These other establishment leaders, people that a lot of us will never even come close to. You do understand that, right? Legacy. Now, it pisses me off because the left woke culture, they try to destroy that under the guise of intolerance and inclusivity and no. Certain things have to, they're structured for a reason. And this is why we're against woke culture. Prestige, okay? Sophistication, class. You see, I'm not a racist, but I am a staunch classist. I discriminate based on class. I don't care what your skin color is. If you are a trailer park trash, if you are a ninja thugging, drugging tattoo, I don't want to associate with you. If you're, as a matter of fact, my main underlining point of discrimination is your IQ. If you're stupid, I don't want to associate with you. I don't care what skin. You can even be white for all I care. You can be Indian, Chinese, black, mixed. I don't care. If you are an idiot, if you are of low IQ, if your brain is wired backwards and upside down, I don't want to associate with you. And there's stupid people from all races, by the way. So there's that. Understand, I went to all the best schools in my town. And even then, there was a time where certain schools, they used to be strict on certain um, measures to qualify to be picked to go to that school, such as your neighborhood, where do your parents live, certain, soft skills, or not necessarily soft skills, but soft aspects. Where do your parents work? What kind of neighborhood do you live? Do you live in the middle class neighborhood, lower class neighborhood? How does allowing you to come learn at this school or at this high school or primary school, how does this affect the overall image of our institution? Now, because of the whole non-discrimination thingy policy, DI transformation quotas, certain people, there's a disparity. It's not so much about race, but it's a disparity in class. It's a disparity in making the cut. Certain people of a certain group overwhelmingly do not fit the criteria. Not because of their race, but because of their culture, because of their general beliefs, and it doesn't make the institution look good. So they had to drop that. I was picked early on, and then over the years, I started to see like a drop in standard of how these schools would pick. And it was really disappointing, really. I mean, the hood became, you start to see more and more kids come from broken schools, and the certain gatekeepers, they couldn't discriminate. When I say gatekeepers, I'm not talking about literal gatekeepers. No, I'm talking about the officials, so to speak. They were afraid to like say, hey, listen, okay, you can't afford to. I mean, because they would be labeled, racist and whatnot. And we've lost that. We've lost that in our first world establishments, and it's quite sad. I mean, look, disparity does not mean discrimination. If you make the cut, you make it. Like again, I said, I'm a proud staunch classist. I discriminate based on class, regardless of your skin color. There's certain kids who look like me, who come from two-parent households, stable ones. Okay, like historically, like our background wise, I'm talking about our upbringing, and there's very few of us who had like pocket money, or as Americans would call it, milk money, lunch money. The majority of the kids who look like me growing up, they didn't have that. Unfortunately, they didn't live in the same. They didn't come from the same socio-economic background as I did, and it just became evident. And because there's like an overwhelming disparity of that lower class image, a lot of the whites, they just thought, it's their culture, so let's just condone them. Let's just we don't want to be smeared in a negative light. And black people should really say, no, we're gonna compete. Okay? We are not gonna be measured by our lowest common denominator. This is a problem with black folks. We allow ourselves to be measured by our lowest common denominator, our idiots. Here's another thing that pisses me off. Why is it that when some prominent black influencer, some public figure is brought on a panel to discuss, amongst other whites, or non-blacks to discuss some menial topic, some meaningful topics such as space exploration and freaking the economy, okay, classified documents of the CIA, and then when it comes time for the black public figure to talk, they ask him, "Oh, so and so, okay, Mr. say Cornel West." So since he's a lefty, what are your feelings about race in this country? Yeah, yeah, yeah. What are your thoughts about race? So hang on a second. You just talked to so and so about space exploration, economy, inflation, all these exciting topics, the UFO files. But when it comes to the black guy, Mr. Black man, how are your feelings about race in this country? You see, I've noticed that is a plight to keep black people at a peasant's state of mind. Black folks reject that. That is not the extent of our intelligence. That is not the extent of our existence. That is not the extent of our history. Why am I as a black man relegated to just, what are your thoughts about race? It must be very painful for you, you black man. Excuse me, don't please try not to disrespect me, okay? I'm not just some race hustler, okay? I want to be more than that, okay? Shout out to Neil Tyson deGrasse. I love his talking points. He's a very intelligent man. I want to be more than just some race hustler. I mean, and it happens so often, and it's done on purpose. It happens way too often. It's happened to even Andrew Tate. So what are your over at Piers Morgan? So Tate, what are your thoughts about race? I mean, like, listen, can you like? I don't care. I don't care. I long for any black person of world person, famous black person, influencer, or public figure. Whenever the next time they ask that question, so Mr. Cornel West, what are your thoughts about race? That's a subtle put down to just narrow and minimize black people to just like, oh, we're only thinking about race to only think a certain way. No, tell them toss that. I don't care. What are your thoughts about race? I don't care. Anyway, I'd like to talk about space exploration. I want to be more than that. We should be allowed, or no, we should allow ourselves to be multifaceted. Do you understand? Don't just narrow me down to race. Because if I were to be hosted on Piers Morgan, so Mr. Showtime, what are your thoughts on race relations in South Africa? I'll tell you, Piers, I don't care. Okay. Now, can we go back to the Israel-Hamas ceasefire agreement? Can we talk about Elon Musk's real plans on his space exploration? These are typical, these subtle jabs. These are Joe Biden antics. Remember when Joe Biden did like that whole little ad sitting down with this black family, a black father and his son, and he was talking about football while eating chicken. The trifecta of, the black stereotype. This is what politicians think of us, of black people, and they think we've come to a time where we just spit upon that. We're like, no, listen, funk that. You're not just gonna relate to us about talking about race. I don't care. I don't care. What are your thoughts about? I don't care, man. Just I don't talk about other stuff. You don't talk to. I mean, listen. Life is very vast. Life is very beautiful. Life is way too vast for you to just narrow me down to topics about. Stop. I don't care. I want to talk about the UFO files. I want to talk about the Abraham Accords. I want to talk about space exploration. But a lot of you ninjas watching, y'all ain't ready for that. Now, since I've gone off on a tangent, let me try and come back to the elements of the today's show. The Bluechip mindset, prestige and separation and class. You're gonna add to most people just don't care about that, and it's not just blacks. I mean, whites to a degree who are financially capable and who can afford, sure. But even they, over the years, have been forced to bite their tongue. Just bite their tongue. But most people, there's like levels beyond this. Okay? Do you think, I mean, look at Jasmine Crockett. How is it that the Congress has allowed themselves, has allowed the hood rats like Jasmine Crockett to enter Congress, and she's busy snapping and acting like ghetto. They've allowed the ghetto into the Congress. Why? Because the establishment leaders, most of them are white, they have like accepted that, okay, if we're gonna allow blacks, okay, the hood, oh fine, that's what they're known for, it's their culture, black folks, rebuke that. Okay? I mean, folks, it even boils down to simply as your dress code. Black folks, look at the majority of your influencers. How do they dress? Huh? A lot of them wear these baseball caps. They're not even dressing like men. They dress like boys. Oh yes, I said it. I said it. Because in their minds, how many of them wear suits? Huh? Oh yes, there's also coding behind clothing. Dress codes. Did you know? I talked about Bluechip mindset. What's the color of my suit? So, I've talked about legacy. Okay? The elite class, they uphold legacy. Look at ancient Egypt, ancient Rome, ancient Greece. You had the ruling class, the gods. Okay? Your Cleopatra. Okay, Cleopatra wasn't a god, she was an empress. Stay with me. You have the gods, Hercules, Achilles, Poseidon, Zeus. Do you think those gods, they mingled amongst the normies and mated with them? Now listen, stop. I know Zeus had illegitimate, according to Greek mythology, he had illegitimate children amongst, human women. Stay with me, please. Cleopatra, Julius Caesar, okay? A lot of them have said to be engaged in incest. That's not what I'm promoting. No, that's disgusting. But I'm not telling you my opinion. I'm just telling you how the elite maintain royal blood. I mean, look at the the quote unquote royal family in England, the Windsor family. Hey, it's they have children and they marry within amongst other people who come from royal blood. Until Meghan Markle came in and she ruined the whole fiasco with her non-royal blood. She's a divorcee. She's a Hollywood C-list actor. Okay? But most people, you find that, it is said that Queen Cleopatra was ugly. The popular depiction of Queen Cleopatra, she's all beautiful, she's feminine, she's petite, she's in shape. It is said that really, actually, for truly, no. Queen Cleopatra was like a midget who was a little genetically deformed in some shape or form. Why? Because her parents are related. first cousins, second cousins, etc. They keep the royal blood in in exclusive. They don't mate amongst the peasants. Legacy. I used to look at homeschooling as weird. If you want your child to be amongst the elites, rather than take them to public schooling, where you have all sorts of personality types, character types, people of all different backgrounds. You see, people think, here's a controversial take. I don't care. People think that diversity is good. Well, diversity in what context? Diversity in what context? It depends. Diversity in terms of racial diversity, I don't know. Hollywood seems to be racially diverse. Okay, I guess. Diverse in thought, diverse in mindset, diverse in background, diverse in economic background, socio-economic background. What type of diversity? Oftentimes, you will find out that the elite do not engage in so-called diversity. Like I said, they're very exclusive. The cream rises to the top. It does not share. It does not like, oh, no. No. The elite are very exclusive. It's not open to everyone. And the whole idea of diversity is kind of like a weakness, to be honest. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm dropping bombs on you today. Oh, so MrShowTym, that's controversial. Like I said, dude, I don't care. Madam, I don't care. I'm not telling you my opinion. I'm simply telling you how the world works. The world doesn't give a toss about diversity. Yes, it could be diverse in some areas, in some facets, sure, so long as it doesn't weaken the elite class. If you can be racially diverse, no problem. Hollywood is pretty ethnically diverse, but it is not financially diverse. You don't get poor people, trailer park trash, scallywags living in Beverly Hills. No, they are all rich. They're all multimillionaires. Beyonce, they're all rich. These billionaires, these multi-billionaires like Jay-Z, they all have their own private doctors, their own private tutors for the children, teachers, schools, supermarkets. These people don't even cook for themselves. They send chefs to they're like, oh chef, I like this breakfast for this upcoming week. They're very exclusive. So while the zeitgeist control machine, the MSM, the mainstream media, they push diversity on you to just mix masala everything because kumbaya. Yeah, they remain very exclusive. Okay, you can't go to the neighborhoods. You can't go. I mean, you can take a tour along Hollywood Hills, Beverly Hills, and even then, you're in a bus. You're not allowed to just step out and just no. You stay inside the confines of the vehicle. You can take pictures, but 1 hour only, ninjas, and then you gotta scoot. And then the next group comes, and even then, it's like scheduled and time frame because you don't want to disturb the your Dwayne Johnsons of the world, the elite class. So understand, prestige comes with being exclusive, and it is very specific. Class, sophistication. It is not very diverse as you think. So, if you want your child, if you want to move up the socio-economic ladder without kissing the nanny goat, consider homeschooling. Because trust and believe, I doubt Mark Zuckerberg, and it's not even Mark Zuckerberg himself, it's not only exclusive to Mark Zuckerberg. Jeff Bezos, they might have went to public schools back in the day, but guess what? Their children won't be going to public schools. No, they go to exclusive schools and universities, Ivy League universities, if they choose. Your Mark Zuckerbergs, you will find that they went to homeschooling. Now, there's some sort of like an effect, a positive, well, both there's pros and cons. If you take your child to homeschooling, right, if you decide to homeschool your kids, they won't be exposed to a lot of these broken kids who will sabotage, manipulate, alter, influence your child in their hood-like ruffian scallywag background. No, they don't have that. Okay? They will learn to view the world from more like from a superiority point of view. Now, to some people, I know that rubs them the wrong way. Again, please bear in mind, I'm not telling you my opinion. I'm just giving you the Bluechip mindset. These are points to consider. If you homeschool your kids, they won't be caught up with most people. Because you know how they say a child is raised by a village and whatnot. Yeah. You homeschool your kids amongst other kids who come from these exclusive circles, these stable backgrounds, stable families. Okay? They will have a very similar mindset. The only downside is they may succumb to being socially awkward. You know, they may not be as socially inept. They may not be as socially in tune with the regular kids who have rhythm and charisma. Do you think for 1 second Elon Musk has charisma, and do you think he needs that? No. He's a multi-millionaire. Sorry, billionaire. He doesn't need social charisma as a particular group of people tend to value. All this symbolic foolery that doesn't mean shit. These kids in these exclusive circles, they don't need to learn how to socialize and how to run game. No. Your Ben Shapiro's, they already come from established backgrounds. So there's like, you know, an understanding that, okay, you and I, we're on the same length. We're on the same frequency. So they move a certain way. And guess what? They definitely do not move a certain way. This is how your geeks come about, your geniuses. Do you think Albert Einstein was very socially in tune and, you know, he had social charisma and he was good with people? He doesn't have to be. His unfortunate end, because he became so smart, he became crazy. That's what I keep hearing. But even Albert Einstein was amongst the elite. Okay? A lot of these people in society, have you noticed a lot of these individuals in society that are deemed as to be weird? They might be. But guess what? They have this like superpower. Either they're very good at maths, they're very good at quantum physics or tech. But being surrounded by a bunch of normies, it hinders you. It hinders them. It stunts their development. It stunts their expression, because they're told if they express it too much and it becomes too evident, what happens? They're going to be shamed by these normie kids talking about, oh, they are premists, right? They're being white, what do you call it? Bougie. They think they're better. Why not think you're better? What's wrong with being better if you actually are better? What's wrong with that? Jealousy ensues, and they start to be shamed. So you cannot afford to be hindered by the jealous normie who isn't really trying, who doesn't have much talent to offer the world, aside from their skills as being just yet another peasant of the system. No, take your kids out of the public school system and put them in an exclusive circle. And trust and believe, a lot of people do not understand me, especially pertaining to the way I look, my ethnicity. To most people, it's like it's confusing amongst others that look like me. Because why? Because they've never seen someone who looks like me who actually comes from the background that I come from. For example, I'll say this. I don't think I won't be forgetting this anytime soon. When I was in university, here in South Africa, we may not have Ivy League universities, at least not yet. But I will say Stellenbosch and UCT comes close. I was in university, and this one black girl in my class, she was sort of like looking at me like as if I was an alien who just crash landed on Earth. She asked me, "So, Mr. Showtime," she didn't call me Mr. Showtime then, she called me by my real name. "So, Mr. Showtime, do you use any student funding program like NSFAS, national funding of students, university loans, whatever?" And I said, I looked at her like weird, like I was like, "No, my parents pay cash." And she was stunned. She was like befuddled. She couldn't believe it. And she asked me where I stay. I stay at some student accommodation. It's like, "Oh, do you use like government funding for that? Some sort of government loans?" And I was like, "No." I'm like, "Why would you ask me that? I pay cash." And she was like, "Oh." And I asked her, "Why would you ask me that?" And she said, "'Cause you black." You see, this is a problem with not having standards. When most of the world, and I hate talking about, I hate talking about race and ethnicity. I hate talking about race and ethnicity, but it is a thing, okay? If you come from a certain race, we are widely known for having less standards. We are widely known for not being very intelligent. We are widely known for the negative stereotypes such as being criminals, thugs, and pimps and thieves. And, it's sad. And then, seldomly, very seldomly, come people like Nelson Mandela, come people like me, and then people of my ilk, of my ethnicity, they like, huh? How is that possible? Yeah. It is. It's quite silly. I'm not offended by it per se, but because I understand the why. Okay, now I've gone on a whole tangent speaking about, but this is just one aspect of the Bluechip mindset. Perhaps in future videos, I could do more to expand on other topics pertaining to the Bluechip mindset, on how you could take advantage and have some talking points to learn from. But in today's video, I just discussed one aspect. Okay, there's plenty more where that came from. Okay, but in this particular video, I just simply discussed class separation. To some people that's a trigger word. Now we're talking about segregation. No, I told you, I'm a proud classist. I discriminate based on class. That could include multi-ethnicities, multi-genders, both men and women. Okay, that could include. Actually, it doesn't even include much. It could include multiple ethnicities from both genders. Yeah, I said multi genders. No, there's two genders, Ninja. I should have said both genders, what have you. But the underlying factor here is socio-economic background, values. Okay? The values tend to be traditional. Okay? It tends to be traditional values. So, like, again, I had to emphasize on the racial aspect because most people, especially the melanated ones, are very sensitive when it comes to these types of topics, and it largely influences their voting patterns, their voting decisions, their lifestyle decisions. It largely influences why they remain at a certain level in life and not progressing. Something as simple as dress code. Something as simple as the music you listen to. The people you listen to. What do the people you listen to, what do they look like? They're wearing these baseball caps, these hoodies, chains, gold grills, gold teeth. And then you wonder why the world doesn't take you seriously. And then you look at people like me, you call us all kinds of akotwam kuns and sellouts because we're just okay. In the next video, I might discuss role models. Okay? How listening to certain types of people could help you. Okay? But in this particular video, I just discussed class, socio-economic class, legacy, prestige, and separating yourself from the deaf, dumb, and blind, the regular normies, which, by the way, happens to be most people from all races, by the way. So I just wanted to give you like a highlight on that, just a brief synopsis on that, and yeah, that's all I have to say for now. In future videos, I might dive in deeper, depending on the feedback on this video. Do people love the Bluechip mindset? Should I even bother in future videos to even discuss it, or should we keep all this valuable knowledge to ourselves? But if you're watching this far, thank you so much for watching. And remember, the Matrix has you. Follow the white rabbit. Don't fall for the psyops. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers.
Awaken from the slumber, this world's a digital maze. A hybrid of illusion, we're trapped within its haze. Unlearn from the deception, we'll break through the code. The chosen ones will rise up, we're ready to explode. Yeah, bring it back to the matrix. Chaos and truth collide. Matrix against the system, all power they can't hide. Unleash the beast.